Now, it's no surprise that Newt Gingrich wants to be Trump's VP pick. Now, he's essentially been doing the political equivalent of, hey, pick me, pick me, pick me. Hey, I'm right here, I'm right here, I'm right here, pick me. Here's a couple of examples. Quote, on Fox News Sunday, and I think it was either last week or the week before, when asked, Gingrich said this, quote, I think we'd have to think through what does he think the job involves, the job of vice president. If he could convince Callista and me that it's doable and that it's serious and that we would in fact contribute, I think we'd be very hard pressed not to say yes. Now, of course, you have to understand that in Washington, you can't just come out and say, yes, oh yeah, absolutely, I'll do it. Yeah, sure, right. Of course I'll do it. Because, you know, it's like Washington, right? They're kind of weird like that. You can't, like, come out and say it. You have to kind of dance around it like, well, I don't know, I'll think about it if he asks. I mean, if Callista says it's okay, then, you know, totally. He doesn't give a fuck with that, what Callista thinks. He'd take it in a second. If Trump literally called him up right now and said, Newt, I got a tremendous offer for you. Yeah, it's tremendous. It's going to be fantastic. Be my vice president. I think Newt Gingrich would have an orgasm in his pants at that moment. Why? Because he wants to be vice president. Totally. He would go all in. All up in there. Now, to prove it, I got another quote, right? Quote, I don't have any interest in the sense that I'm going to go out and try to become his vice president. So I'm not trying, but if you ask me, totally do it. But I would obviously have to listen carefully if he called. He's an old friend. And I think that any time a potential president calls a citizen owes them an obligation. Oh, please, Donald, please call me. I totally listen to you. I would totally listen to you and lap up everything that you say if I can become your vice president. And look, Trump actually has reached out to him. Not on this, but look, Gingrich has been out there sucking up to Trump for months and months. And that, it turns out it might actually be paying off. Now, the Huffington Post reports that Ed Rollins, who is a top Republican consultant, he had recently asserted that Donald Trump should choose Newt Gingrich as his running mate. Now, to be fair, Rollins is a former Gingrich staffer, but he goes on to explain that Trump was open to the idea. Quote, I think Newt is lobbying to be the vice president, and I think their people are paying a lot of attention to him. It'd be a ticket with 6 former wives, kind of like a Henry VIII thing. They certainly understand women. No, you got it wrong. You've got it wrong. Look, if you've been married 3 times, there's maybe a small chance that you may not understand women as well as you think. Possibly, but of course that's none of my business, right? I mean, look, here's the thing. Newt is the kind of hypocrite that will run on family values, but then ask for an open marriage. Now look, I don't care if he does that, right? I'm pretty sure Callista does, unless she's a programmed sex robot, which would make a lot of sense because she doesn't seem to show much human emotion, nor does her hair ever move. Things to think about, right? But look, I don't care if he does that. I don't care if he has an open marriage. My whole thing about this, my issue, and this is an issue I have a lot with a lot of family values Republicans, their hypocrisy. I don't care what they do in their marriage. I don't care what they do with their mistresses, with their 3 mistresses. I don't care if they're snorting crack off snorting coke off the butt crack of a hooker. As long as they're not going after other people, as long as they're not being hypocrites on that issue, then I'm fine with it. Hey man, do you, right? But look, hypocrisy is the one thing that really bothers me. And that's what Newt Gingrich has in spades. Hypocrisy. Now, anyway, back to Rollins. He says that Trump has come to value the former speaker's opinions. One source told the National Review's Eliana Johnson that Gingrich used to fire off emails to Trump and his campaign staffers countless times a day. I wonder what was in those emails. Maybe I don't want to know. But here's Newt. Oh, Donald, please pick me. I'm emailing you. I even follow you on Twitter. I like your tweets. I actually hit the like button for your tweets. Please pick me. Please, please, please. According to Rollins, Gingrich is viewed by Trump as a very valuable ally to have. All of this might actually work. That's the sad thing, too. All the sucking up. It might work. Because you think about it, Donald Trump is a complete narcissist. And considering how narcissistic he actually is, and how he loves yes men. Oh, yes, Donald. He loves that. Gingrich might actually have a shot. He's on the short list for Veep, after all. And here's the thing, right? Trump Newt, that is not something I would have seen coming. And it might not, but if it does, oh boy, there goes the neighborhood.